If you're afraid of chemistry and had trouble in the past, this video is for you. It will explain some of the wrong reasons you may think chemistry is difficult and explain what the real reasons are and the real reasons you can certainly fix. There are only two kinds of reasons: fake reasons and real reasons. People make up all kinds of fake reasons in order to justify why they aren't doing well. The real reasons are obstacles, and obstacles are things you can overcome. Obstacles are things that you can handle. Here are the most common 5 reasons why people do poorly. They are not in any particular order, but they are all excuses that people use to say chemistry is just too hard. Someone told you that it was too hard. Don't listen to those people. There's too much to remember. It may surprise you to know that most of chemistry does not involve memorization. You have to be gifted to do this. Another misconception: it's hard and confusing on purpose. Not true as well. You have to figure out the secret code. Well, there is no secret code. If someone told you this, or you've overheard rumors, rumors are just that. They're not reliable. They aren't fact, and they don't necessarily refer to you. Remember, other people may do badly and may say chemistry is terribly hard, but they don't actually know. Why? Because they didn't know the material. Why? Because they want to blame someone else. Remember, the only person here that matters and the only opinion that matters is you. And for you, if you go about it the right way, chemistry will be easy. Maybe you've been told that there's too much to remember. But in truth, chemistry doesn't really involve a great deal of memorization. It's true that many people with good memories can get through chemistry by memorizing it, but you have a better method. You can understand what it is that you're supposed to learn. You can deduce the information you need, and you can use each thing by understanding it and seek to understand it rather than memorize it. Some people may actually believe that you need to be gifted, that you have to be some kind of genius to do well at this. And it doesn't help when you watch television to see that chemistry people are often very smart. However, the truth is, geniuses are not that common. And a lot more people do well in chemistry than there are geniuses. And the shocking truth about people that are really smart and people that are average is there's not really that much difference. So, yes, you too, as a normal student, if you have the right skills and the right approach, you'll be able to do well in chemistry, and people will be asking you, how did you get that A? And people will be envious of you and wonder how you did it. And you'll know that what you did is you applied simple techniques and simple ways of looking at things that help you to understand. Some people have the belief that there are readout courses, that professors use tricks because they have to give you bad grades, or there are some kind of an ego trip because they want you to do badly. Some people think it's a cat and mouse game, that if only you could figure out what the professor is thinking, then you'll do well. But in fact, there is no secret code. The professors are not deliberately making it hard. They want you to do well. They want you to come to their office and get help. They want you to ask questions in class. And they get nothing out of making it into a readout course or deliberately giving anyone bad grades. Or perhaps you've fallen into the belief that chemistry is full of gimmicks, that if you study enough flashcards, that if you learn enough gimmicks, that's going to help you. Well, in the short run it might, but in the long run you're not really learning anything, and when it comes to questions which might seem tricky, you won't know how to answer them. There is no secret code, and suppose you wonder why the professor just doesn't tell you how to do well on the test. The answer is they are telling you how to do well on the test. If you're having trouble, it means you need to change the way you're studying. And that's what this series of videos is going to help you with, to improve how you study, so you learn the chemistry, so you don't memorize it, and so that you understand it, and you know what you need to know when it comes time to take a test. Here are the reasons why people find that chemistry is hard. These are all reasons that you can fix and reasons that we're going to cover in this series of YouTubes. The first is not being properly prepared. The second is having trouble with the new kinds of abstract concepts that you encounter in general chemistry. And finally, the other one that we're going to address is you're not studying the right way, either because you don't know how to study or because you don't know how to study chemistry. Both of these will be addressed. The first significant problem a lot of people experience is not being properly prepared to take college chemistry. It does not require that you know any chemistry to begin with, and in fact, some people who have taken high school chemistry not only didn't learn it correctly, it's worse than if they didn't learn it correctly, because they learned something wrong, and bad habits are harder to break than no habits. The other point is that they're weak in algebra, or if they're good at algebra, what they're poor at is solving word problems. This is another point that can be addressed. The thing to understand about playing catch-up with your skills is it's not going to happen instantly, but if you're diligent and you do the extra work, you're going to find that bit by bit, piece by piece, you were able to make up any deficits that are causing you to have problems. Another common reason people have struggled with chemistry is because to them they're dealing with abstract concepts. Even though the concepts of chemistry themselves are not terribly abstract, there's an abstract language to communicate them. The thing that helps the most is to develop concrete ways of imagining these things and being able to deal with metaphorical models that help explain chemical concepts. The most important other reason that people have difficulty with chemistry is that they do not know how to study chemistry in an effective way. They're used to studying things like history, or philosophy, or literature. And although certain ways of studying transfer over, there are also new ways of studying that deal with new kinds of ways to assimilate information. And we'll be talking about the most reliable strategies that you can learn. And just because you don't know them now does not mean you'll never know them, and then you'll realize that a lot of these people that were in classes with you that seemed unbelievably smart, in reality what's happened is they've only hit on a good strategy for studying that you don't know yet. So this is another obstacle that you can overcome. For the rest of these overheads and presentations, we're going to talk about building your future, where we're going to fill in any gaps that you don't have, where you've had problems understanding abstract concepts. We're going to create images and metaphors that explain it to you in a way that makes sense. And finally, we're going to explain the right way to study chemistry so that you don't end up spending 10 or 15 hours a night trying to study it and not getting anywhere. And finally, when you walk out of that test room, you're going to know you got the answer right, and you're not even going to wonder. And won't that be a good feeling? Well, I look forward to seeing you for the rest of the series, and best of luck.